Welcome everybody. Today I will give you very good and highly sophisticated financial advice. And if you decide, and I can only advise you to, if you decide to pay very close attention and to work in close cooperation with what I'm about to tell you, I can guarantee that you will be more free and you will be happier and you will have financial freedom in the future. And the tip number one is to avoid the tax. Excuse me very much. You must avoid the tax because the taxes are what hurt you the most. Because you have a job and now you have to give 20% or whatever the percentage is, you have to give it by law to the government. And this is a disgrace. And if peoples in a particular country will stick together and will not pay the tax, they won't have to pay the taxes anymore. And this is a fact. And we have tested this. And this is very important. And if you try this, you will see for yourself that you will be happier and you won't have to pay the tax anymore. And this is important because this is the foundation stone on what everything else I am going to talk about in the future. And therefore, you must make sure that this is the tip that you really and very sophisticatedly obey. Because paying taxes is a very, very high waste of money, and you should avoid this with all your might. Second tip, and this is a warning, IRS is your enemy number one. Because if you decide not to pay taxes, now the IRS will come to you and they will take your money, they will take your house, they will take your car, your wife, and your children. And this is not good at all. And therefore you must make sure that you will be able to defend yourself against the IRS completely. And this is a very important part of my speech, because if at all I wanted to beat you with a stick, your duty is to defend yourself. And therefore your duty in this particular case is to defend yourself, your family, and your money against the IRS, because they are about to take your territory from you, and therefore you must defend yourself because they want to take your stuff by force. And this is something that cannot be accepted, and you must defend yourself and be aware of the IRS, because this is the most important tip. If you do tip number one, tip number two is just as important, because the IRS will come after you and now you must be ready to defend, and this is important. And tip number three is to stop paying for things. And I will give you very good example. If you go to the gas station and you fill up your car with fuel, why do you go inside the gas station and pay? Because you have to understand that if you drive to the gas station and you fill up your car and you get in your car and you simply leave, there is nothing that they can do at all. Because normally they would expect you to go in and pay the money that they ask for. But now, what are they going to do if you don't pay? If you simply pull up to the gas station and you decide to fill up your car and you decide to leave afterwards without paying, there is nothing that they can do. Because they would expect you to come in for you in order to leave your money at their doorstep. But if you don't come in to pay, what can they do? And this is a very important thought process, because it is important for you to remember that there is nothing that can be done to you if you are moving fast in the car. And this might be very good and important tip as well if you look at it in relation to tip number 1, because if the IRS comes to you, you get in your car, they cannot catch you anymore, and they cannot take the car from you either. And this is a very important list that I have made, and if you stick to this, you will be successful, and you will be happy, and you will be strong, and you will talk with people, and this is very good advice that you can follow. I thank you very much.